Hello and welcome to Rogers TV Community News. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons. As part of its plan to protect Ontario, the province is expanding the basic constable training program to help police services recruit, train, and deploy more officers. For the first time, training will be held at the same time at two separate locations, Ontario Police College in Aylmer and a temporary site in Cornwall. It will allow for an additional 121 recruits to be trained for a combined intake of up to 641 recruits. In 2023, the province eliminated tuition fees for the basic constable training program. Speed enforcement cameras will soon be coming to an end in Ontario. Premier Doug Ford announced Thursday his government will introduce legislation this fall that will eliminate speed cameras in Ontario.
In a few weeks, our government will introduce legislation to ban speed cameras in Ontario to protect taxpayers and drivers and stop them from being gouged.
The decision comes after Ford spent weeks slamming the cameras at various news conferences.
This is nothing but a tax grab, folks. I've talked to mayors offline. They've even admitted, two of them, yesterday. Yeah, I admit it's a tax grab, but we need money for the roads. They should take out those cameras, all of them. If you want to slow down traffic at school, you put the big, huge signs, big flashing lights, crossing area, people will slow down. This is nothing but a tax grab. I've driven by speed traps aren't even close to school areas. It's nothing but a tax grab. So
Kitchener Mayor Barry Vervanovic joined the Premier Thursday for the announcement in Vaughan.
As the Mayor of Kitchener, one of Ontario's biggest cities, I take the responsibility of the safety of our residents very seriously. That's why I, along with our council, have wholeheartedly supported Kitchener's Vision Zero strategy, a long-term plan to reduce serious injuries and death due to traffic collisions to zero in our community. Through our Hotspot Improvement Program in Kitchener, we're using citywide data to understand where the greatest risks exist and understanding them through traffic calming, road reconstruction, and other measures like those being proposed today. It's making a real difference. It was also a big part of the reason why last year in October, the City of Kitchener Council decided not to be part of our region's ASC cameras on our city-owned roadways. We believe that our Vision Zero initiatives, built on a foundation of changing behavior through road design and not punitive measures, has been the best tool to balance safety and affordability for our community.
Ford is suggesting road design changes like more speed bumps, big signs, and flashing lights are more effective ways to slow traffic. But not everyone shares the Premier's opinion of the speed camera program. A 2025 Canadian Automobile Association survey of 1,500 Ontario drivers found 73% support the use of speed cameras, and 76% say they deter speeding. Ontario's police chiefs have penned a letter to Ford insisting the cameras save lives.
in Waterloo Region, municipal speed cameras issued close to 55,000 tickets in the first 6 months of the program.
In the region of Waterloo, it reports since launching its speed camera program in February of this year, the average speeds in school zones have dropped by 15 kilometers an hour. Mike Morris is officially running in the next federal election. He is the first candidate confirmed by the Green Party of Canada after an uncontested nomination process.
I love this community, and I was amazed at how many opportunities I had when I served as the MP for Kitchener Centre to bring the concerns of folks in our community to Ottawa and to get results. Over the course of 4 years, we fought for a new benefit for folks with disabilities, stood up for human rights, fought for solutions to make life more affordable for folks in our community. And so I just feel like it's the place where I can make the biggest difference in the world. I feel so affirmed in the days, weeks, and months after the last election. Folks have continued to reach out to say how much they'd want to be a part of it if I did run again. And I've got that fire in my belly still. But I also know that the sooner we start, the stronger we'll be. It actually takes more time if you show up at someone's front door, if you don't just ask who you're going to vote for, if you spend time asking what they care about, turns out the conversation is longer. So by starting now and by sharing this intention as early as my team and I are, my hope is it gives time to have those conversations and to serve the community as I have been in years past for however long we continue to serve in this way, right up until whenever the next election's called. It's actually why I ran as a Green in the first place, is I wanted to be sure that as a MP, I could go to Ottawa and think about our community first and foremost, and think about advocating for solutions to the housing crisis, to address poverty, rising grocery prices, and all these things. I wanted to have the issues first and foremost and not be beholden to reading a script that some party official told me to read, to being sent to filibuster a committee ad nauseum. And so some folks said, oh, it must be hard as a Green. And I felt the opposite. I felt almost like the job was easier by serving as a Green. I was there with a community first mandate, which I think also made it a bit easier to work with others, because other parties knew that I wasn't there just to score some political point for the party, that I was actually there, on the arts, for example. We're not the only community that's dramatically underfunded for the arts. So when I did a joint letter with other MPs, I found MPs from all parties who shared that issue, and I found it was almost a little bit easier to be that coalition builder when I wasn't from one of the two big parties, and that folks knew my intentions pretty clearly from the get-go, and most importantly, folks in our community knew that my focus was on serving the community first and foremost.
Democracy in Action Waterloo Region has launched a youth endowment fund in partnership with the Waterloo Region Community Foundation. It's a first-of-its-kind fund to provide support for scholarships and leadership opportunities that strengthen civic engagement.
Oftentimes, I think we don't do enough recognition from that grassroots level. And so with, the Waterloo Region Community Foundation, we know what they do, the impact they have. It aligned perfectly. Partnerships is key to this. And we're grateful that they were, on board as soon as I brought my idea to them and said, this is what I'm thinking. And, it's opportunity. It's opportunity. So initiatives, groups, there are people who are focused on community engagement have an opportunity to be supported. Democracy in Action, it is about recognizing, amplifying, rewarding those organizations, individuals who are doing things, unique things in some cases, to address challenges in society. It is also about engagement. How we engage in not just voting or, running for office, but how we engage in a community to ensure that everyone's participating and everyone feels like they're contributing. It involves my work as an elected official, as somebody who's out in the community, speaking with people, and recognizing that there are things people are doing. And groups that are coming together, breaking down silos, not working just in one sector or another. And I thought, people need to hear about this. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think we often work in silos when we really need to be thinking in kind of that hub mentality.
The City of Kitchener is looking to better connect the community. It's a new computer recycling program that pushes for sustainability and helps in-need community members. The initiative will see unused technological devices given to city staff members to be wiped of data, refurbished, and distributed to people throughout the city who don't have access to reliable devices of their own. This would better help the community in finding jobs, attending classes, or simply giving them the opportunity to reach out to loved ones. The city is working in partnership with the Working Center, which is helping to distribute the devices.
The one message, and I think everybody knows this, is that we have to do more.
The puck drops this upcoming October for the 12th year. Hockey Helps the Homeless Waterloo Region has made a big impact.
So up to this year, we've raised $2.5 million, just over $2.5 million. So we're hoping this year to be able to invest another $350,000, which would mean that would be over $2.9 million invested into the homeless programs in the Waterloo region.
One Roof, we're there to provide shelter and supportive housing for youth ages 16 to 25 who are currently unhoused. So, emergency stays and then long-term housing with a program that goes along with that. Hockey Helps the Homeless is a huge contributor to our programming. There's lots of programming that I don't think would be running without that donation every year, especially our daytime services. So that's our drop-in program, wraparound supports from our staff, including, employment resources, education resources, things like that.
And what we're doing is we're investing in these programs to really make a difference as much as we can to help the homelessness. For me, it's the satisfaction of being able to take a group of players, so we have over 250 players that will be playing this year, and saying to myself, that group likely would not be motivated to help the homeless in our community because that's just, may not be, they've never been asked to do that. So we're able to take that group, we're able to say to them, hey, we can give you the ability to do it, have an amazing day playing hockey, and as well, you can make a difference in helping the homeless in the community by going out and fundraising. So we take that group of 250, they get over close to 3,000 donors in the community to help make a difference.
What's cool about Hockey Helps the Homeless is this committee really cares, not only about raising funds for the 6 charity partners, which is amazing, but also about the event itself. They really care about the experience that the players, the volunteers, the spectators all have, and they want to make it bigger and better every year and make sure that they're raising those funds.
We can still use some free agents. So if you're out there and you like to play hockey and you want to experience an amazing day, and maybe you've got a couple other buddies that you play with once a week and you make up that high scoring line, you can sign up and you can be part of our day, and just need to contact Rob Way at Rogers.com and we'll get them going. And then the other thing that I would say is, if you're out there in the community and you know somebody that plays in the tournament, don't wait for them to ask you. Send them a note and say, hey, I know you're in this tournament. I know they do amazing things. Can I donate and make a difference?
The city of Brantford unveiled 2 new Remembrance Day themed crosswalks adjacent to the Brant County War Memorial. Designed with durable materials, the crosswalks are expected to last 5 to 10 years. The initiative comes from a council-approved motion last November. The crosswalks are a way to expand on existing tributes at the War Memorial. The installations will closely be monitored to ensure they're in optimal condition for the city's upcoming Remembrance Day ceremony on November 11th. September 30th is National Day of Truth and Reconciliation here in Canada. In Brantford, the Mohawk Institute, the site of the longest-running residential school, has become an interpretive cultural center. Our cameras were there for the unveiling on September 22nd.
My name is Jake Jameson. I'm a community member of Six Nations of the Grand River, and I'm the Artistic and Programming Director here at the Woodland Cultural Center. I want to thank all of you for attending today's donor and media preview of the unveiling of the former Mohawk Institute as an interpretive historic site.
What I'm seeing in this building right now is it's our history. This is our history, but it's also Canada's history.
It was important for us to try to give visitors the opportunity to place themselves in the footsteps of those children, or even maybe to think about their own family members. I think sometimes because when we're talking to survivors, they're adults, we forget that, right? They were kids. They were like 6 and 8 years old.
I don't think anybody can accurately understand the trauma that we went through. We can tell you, hopefully there's somebody that understands what we went through, but it was a pretty devastating time for a lot of kids. And if you put in build these institutions, it wasn't for our best interests, it was for the government and the church to destroy the identity of Indigenous children, to take away their right to be who they were.
Thanks for watching. I'm Carla Fitzsimmons, and I'll see you on Friday.